ASEAN is committed to realize gender equality and empowerment of all women and girls. We recognize that women are agents of change and catalysts to sustain peace, foster prosperity, and safeguard social cohesion for our ASEAN community.
The ASEAN Committee on Women remains steadfast in advancing gender equality and empowerment of women and girls. We are mindful of how the multiple shocks and adversities brought about by climate change, emerging threats, and now largely by the impacts of COVID-19 pandemic are widening gender gaps and inequalities in all spheres of life of women and young girls.
When women are involved in security decision-making, peace building, and represented in legislatures, peace is more enduring. Studies of regional conflicts show that balanced representation of men and women in government positions is a stronger predictor of a state's peace and stability than even the gross domestic product.
The Women, Peace and Security agenda is a victory for women's leadership and mobilization, bringing about a deep transformation in the peace and security sector, a traditional male bastion.
Lasting peace and security will always be elusive without women's leadership and participation in decision-making. The responsibility to recognize and act upon this reality also falls upon male leaders, allies, and champions to play a more supporting and facilitating rather than a dominating role.
With challenges such as COVID, women's voices will be certainly contribute to the regional stability of ASEAN member states. Indeed, from town halls to the halls of power, women's voices should be heard and must matter in equal measure to their male counterparts in every conversation.
Women, Peace and Security agenda has never been more relevant than during the COVID-19 crisis. Women have been frontline responders to the pandemic that has a spillover impact beyond health and economic downturn. It has threatened to destabilize social cohesion and the regional security.
It is with high hope that through the ASEAN Regional Study on Women, Peace and Security, we could influence and change the landscape of peacemaking and peace-building ecosystem in the region, and place at the very heart of Women, Peace and Security agenda.
I am pleased that the U.S. government, through the U.S. Agency for International Development, can support ASEAN's advancement of the Women, Peace and Security agenda. I hope this study will create momentum for the development of an ASEAN regional plan of action and its subsequent implementation. Our hope is ASEAN leaders will be better prepared to highlight and support the role of women in securing a lasting peace for the region.
And UN Women is privileged to be a trusted partner of ASEAN, which has squarely placed gender as a cross-cutting priority across all dimensions of its cooperation.
I congratulate everyone, and I would like to express my deep solidarity as we continue on this journey together.
On the occasion of the launch of the ASEAN Regional Study on Women, Peace and Security, the ACW reaffirms its commitment to building sustainable peace, prosperity, and harmony across ASEAN communities by safeguarding the rights of women and forging ahead with the implementation of our ACW Work Plan 2021 to 2025.
As one ASEAN community, we call on partners and stakeholders to synergize our efforts to create an enabling environment and to empower women to realize their full potential and influence as negotiators, mediators, and decision makers to counter violent extremism, to sustain peace and solidify social economic well-being at all levels. With unwavering enthusiasm and conviction, we look forward to the integration of women's peace and security agenda in the next vision of the ASEAN community beyond 2025.